You'll turn your video on while you're speaking. For now, I think it's fine when it's off.
Okay.
Yeah, it is 10 already. A very good morning to everyone. I think I believe you are having a wonderful day, and I can please anyone confirm if you can hear me very well?
Loud and clear.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I would like to thank you for taking your time and joining this webinar this morning, and a special gratitude to our esteemed guest who will be sharing his knowledge with us, and I highly appreciate your time and effort. Just before we begin, please make sure that your video and mic is turned off unless you are speaking. This is for connection purposes. And if you have anything to say, please write it on the chat box. And note that questions will be attended to at the end of the session, and you are kindly requested not to disturb the speakers as they speak. Please note that this session will be recorded, and you are not allowed to record the session on your end. The webinar, the recorded webinar will be sent to you on your request. I apologize for any possible technical glitches that may be encountered during the webinar. And this webinar is part of the National Science Week under the theme Making It Possible Through Science. Once again, thank you so much for joining. And for those of you who do not know me, I am Sunny Litwala, and I will be facilitating this session. In the interest of time, I would like to call upon the Executive Dean of Science, Prof. Azwindini Muronga, who will welcome us and open the session. Thank you. Over to you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Sanili. Good morning to all the participants in the webinar. And thank you very much to the Science Faculty's marketing team for organizing this event. And thank you very much to Tenisani for agreeing to be part of the National Science Week events. As it is already highlighted, it has been a tradition in the Faculty of Science to host National Science Week, and we are excited to be giving one of the first events on this year's National Science Week, which is an event organized by SASTA on behalf of the Department of Science and Innovation. And we have colleagues from also the department and from SASTA who have joined, and we welcome you. And I want to thank SASTA and DSI for the support of this event. And we hope we will see most of you again in other events that are going to be organized by the Faculty of Science as part of 2021 National Science Week. So with those few words, welcome to National Science Week 2021. Thank you very much, Sanel.
Thank you so much, Prof, for warmly welcoming us and for the insightful words. Just in a minute, I want to speak to you all attendees. Just in a minute, I want you to tell me in one word, how are you feeling? I want you to write in the chat box, how are you feeling in one word about the event? I'm going to give this 2 minutes. And your time starts now. I can see excited, great. Excited, great. Great. This is wonderful, excited, ready to learn, wonderful. Excited. One last more. Curious, grateful. Ready to learn. Expecting. Wow, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for your participation. And following now, oh, bang, excited. We're starting National Science Week with a bang. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Hopeful as well. Following now is our guest speaker, Tenisani Kwabe, who is a rural development specialist. Just to introduce him, he is a PhD candidate in the Department of Sustainable Food Systems and Development at the University of Free State. And he is a graduate and a former associate lecturer in the Department of Agricultural Management here at Nelson Mandela University. He has also worked as a project coordinator for Mangosuthu University of Technology's Community Engagement Directorate. And in 2020, he was listed among the Mail and Guardian top 200 young influential South Africans, and is currently a member of the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it well. He's also the founder and the chief vision officer at Ubuntu Agri-Iranians. Over to you, Mr. Kwabe. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Sanele. Good morning, everyone. Sanele, I'm not sure if you can see my screen.
Not yet.
No.
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Tenisani Kwabe. I am a student at the University of the Free State. I'm currently reading towards my doctoral degree, where I'm exploring indigenous vegetables as a potential solution for household food security and biodiversity management. So my presentation today is about the integration of modern technologies in indigenous food systems. And this is especially important at such a time where the world has shifted to the new era of innovation technology. So this is what most of us know as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, from which our country is not exempt, by the way. So this isn't just a mere use of information technology, but it's the application of artificial intelligence and cyber physical systems, which are designed to collect the much needed information that can help farmers to realize accurate systems for agricultural management. So a gentleman by the name Klaus Schwab, who's the executive director of the World Economic Forum, speaks about this 4IR, and he defines it as...
Apologies for interjecting. Can you please make it full screen, please?
Is it not full screen?
Yes, it's not.
Not presentation mode.
Okay.
In the presentation mode, yes.
Sorry about that. Bear with me a bit.
Better.
Ooh. Okay, this is where technology beats me.
Kenisani. Kenisani, can you hear me?
Kenisani, can you? Okay, I think.
Sunny is 22 active.
What's happening?
You should call in.
Yeah, I think you were right on the presentation. Just click on the presentation, then it's good to go. Okay, I think it's fine if you can continue as it is. Confirm with me if you can hear me, Kenisani.
If you have his cell phone, please call him.
I try to continue and Okay. Please don't hang up. Okay. Hello, Sanele? Sanele?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Not yet, but you shared your screen.
Sorry?
You shared your screen. You can go to PowerPoint presentation. I can see your screen, but you haven't shared.
Okay.
Go to PowerPoint, yes.
Which screen do you see?
I see only the participants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Still not yet. I think stop sharing and then start again. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, start it again. You've just.
Oh God.
Kunisan, can I help?
Please.
Yes. Before you share, when on the sharing screen, you must be on your presentation. Just open your presentation, and then that is your presentation that we see now. If you go to the bottom left,
Yes.
Can you use your mouse? Let me see your case. Go
Yes.
down a bit and to the right. Go to the right.
Go to my right.
Yes, there is a menu which says Notes, Design Settings.
Display settings and notes. Yes.
Yeah, I see your case. Go a bit to the left. You will see something that looks like a cup.
No. Yeah. Close
Go
by.
to the right a bit.
Go to the right. No, as if you're going to maximize and minimize.
Wait, right at the top.
At the
On
bottom.
the right, shift a bit. On that direction, shift to the right.
Yes.
Shift to the right. Shift again.
Like I'm at the very last end of my computer now.
Do you see the plus and the minus where you zoom?
Yes.
At the bottom. Go. There is something that looks like a cup, a glass of wine. Eh?
Yes.
Click on that one.
Glass of what?
Ooh.
Just near the minus sign. Okay.
There it is. That's fine. You can. That's a presentation mode.
Okay. It gives me a problem if I do this, Prof. Okay. So I'm not sure if I can continue with it like this. Otherwise, we'll go back to where we were before.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine. I think you can continue to as in that.
Okay.
Apologies for the.
Okay. Sanele, please confirm one last time if you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Okay. Apologies about that, everyone. Yeah.
Okay, you go to presentation.
Quite interesting, Sanele, that you are talking about technological revolution when some of us are still battling with it. So, as I was saying, a gentleman by the name Klaus Schwab.
Sorry, Sunny.
Yes.
Can you send your presentation to us?
Yes, I can do that.
Please, then they can run the screen for you. Thank you.
Okay, I'd really much appreciate that. Very much appreciate that.
Yes, you can continue so long.
Let me just send it to you, Sanele.
There you go.
Can I start, Sanele?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so let me just reintroduce myself. My name is Kunisani Kwabe. I'm a student at the University of the Free State, and I am currently reading towards my doctoral degree, where I am exploring indigenous vegetables as a potential solution for household security and biodiversity management. So my presentation is about the integration of modern technology in indigenous food systems. And this is especially important at such a time where we have shifted to the new era of innovation technology, what we mostly know as the fourth industrial revolution, from which our country is not exempt, by the way. So this isn't just a mere use of technology, of information technology, but rather the application of artificial intelligence and cyber physical systems that are designed to both collect the much needed information that can help farmers to realize accurate systems for agricultural management. So Sanele, could you please move to slide 2 for me? Hello?
Okay, I'm moving.
Hello.
Yes.
My apology to interrupt. I don't know if I'm the only one, but the sound is too low. I hardly hear the presenter. I don't know if it is my gadget or it's generally low.
I think the problem could be on your side because I could hear him clearly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sanele, is the second slide on?
Yes, it's moving in a minute.
Okay, so I'll just continue, if that's okay.
Yes, you can continue. We're having a technical glitch. Apologies for that. You can continue, Solo. We will share the screen, the presentation afterwards if they need it.
Okay, thank you. So a gentleman by the name Klaus Schwab, who is the executive director of the World Economic Forum, he simplifies the fourth industrial revolution as a technological revolution that is blurring the lines between digital, physical, and biological spheres. So we can better understand it as the simulation of the buzzwords that are supposed to be displayed on slide 3. So the first of which is the Internet of Things, which uses analytical tools for crop monitoring and field mapping, which helps to provide data to farmers. Oh, thanks, Anele. Please move to slide 3. Which helps to provide data to farmers for their farm management plans, and which in turn helps us to save two of the most important variables in agriculture, which are time and money. And the second one is farm automation. So in agriculture, we often refer to this as smart farming, whereby a variety of technological innovations are leveraged to optimize food production and to improve quality. So enhancing the nutrient composition and product quality of, well, through genetic engineering also. For example, if you look at your pest and disease resistance measures that have been put in place nowadays. And lastly, it's artificial intelligence, which essentially means software which is used by computers to mimic human intelligence. I think that is why nowadays people are so scared of these robots that are taking over in industries, in agri production, and other sectors of the economy as well. So,
Please switch your mic.
oh, okay.
Please switch your mic.
Whenever she's required to. So what Siri does is to do all the legwork for you, while all you do is to give instructions. Yours is just to control Siri through uttering spoken words. Which then leads me to the fourth slide, Sanele. Yes, thank you. Why do we then fuss about artificial intelligence in agriculture? So in 1965, there's a woman by the name Esther Bosrup, who came up with a theory. Please open the next slide. So Esther came up with a theory of agricultural intensification through innovative technologies as population continues to exponentiate. Decades later, the World Bank then made a prediction that by 2050, we need to produce about 50% more food than we are currently producing if the global population continues to rise as it is currently. So this is despite the fact that as it stands, we've got about 1.9 billion people, which is about 36% of the world population living in extreme poverty. And looking at our South African context, we've got about 13.8 million people that go to bed hungry, people that are experiencing food poverty, and that is 25% of the population. And because of slow-paced traditional methods, which are mostly used in our context and which are not scientifically proven, which cannot keep up with the challenges that farmers face in the present times, such as climate change, we are at risk of facing a massive food insecurity crisis if we don't take advantage of modern technologies that are powered by artificial intelligence. And then the question is, what is the benefit of AI in the context of agriculture? Please move to slide 6, Sanele. Thank you. So AI can help us in a number of ways. First of which is the analysis of market demand. It can help us as farmers to simplify crop selection and to help identify what produce is likely to be profitable. And it can also allow the middle guy, who is between the producer and the consumer, which is the seller, to gain insight into what their consumers need through demand forecasting. For example, consumption patterns can be used, consumption patterns from the past, that is. They can be used to predict what is likely to happen in the future. And through the use of artificial intelligence empowered technologies, farmers can also use forecasting and predictive analytics to reduce errors in their business processes and to minimize the risk of crop failures. We already see this. If you go to commercial farms, farmers are now using drones for pest and disease management. That is another way of minimizing risk, because they collect data, they are able to observe what is going on in the farms, and they are able to act swiftly on that. It also helps with the cutting down of operational costs, which may be financially consuming in the beginning, but in a long run, it does assist, especially if you are producing commercially. Nowadays, we've got farmers that are using aerial devices to collect data on their farms, like I made an example earlier, through the use of drones. So these are highly beneficial in agriculture in terms of collecting data, in terms of minimizing risks, and to improve productivity. Because one thing about agriculture is that it is a business, but also it is a very risky business. So one always has to take measures to minimize risks wherever possible. And then the non-controversial aspect of artificial intelligence is efficiency through the replacement of human labor. So while the use of artificial intelligence in agriculture has its benefits, it also has its own disadvantages. For example, if you look there at the bottom, high initial costs. If you are still starting and you are trying to adopt this technology, you have to invest quite a lot. It requires a lot of capital. Secondly, it reduces job opportunities, which I think is one of the greatest fears for people in the agricultural industry, especially those that are laborers. They often perceive artificial intelligence and technologies altogether as a threat for their jobs. And then maintaining these is high maintenance. I just had a call from a friend about 2 days ago who was complaining that because he wasn't properly maintaining his drones that he uses in his farm, they are now not working. He can't use them in any way. So now he has to get new ones. So maintaining them also comes with a cost, unfortunately. And also, AI is mostly suitable for farming in large areas, which puts small-scale farmers at a disadvantage, unfortunately. And it requires knowledge for those that are operating the machinery. Please move to slide 7, Sanele. So within our context, our South African context, we've got a multitude of food systems that have sustained the indigenous people over thousands of years. And these are culturally significant, as you would all know. But one of the growing concerns is that they are hardly recognized in the food discourse and not much is being done to improve them. So how then do we use modern technologies to improve our indigenous food systems? Please move to the next slide. Now, the point of departure here would be to first raise awareness about these food systems. So drawing from one of the reports from the Food and Agricultural Organization, there's a need to revive these indigenous agroecological food systems because of their resilience and nutritious diets in comparison to modern food systems. So the starting point would be to raise awareness about their importance. Secondly, please move to the next slide, Sanele. So this can be achieved by using digital technology, social media, digital brand expression, motion graphics. There's many. And one of the reasons why I mention these is because I've been constantly using digital technology to promote indigenous foods. And well, there could be other innovative methods that can be used, well, such as the use of drones, for example, for field mapping and genetic modification to improve yields. And one of the challenges about cultivated indigenous crops is that they take a very long period to grow. It would be interesting for me as an indigenous foods grower to grow my madumbes for a period of 3 months as opposed to growing them for 7 months as I'm currently doing. So if you move to slide 10, is there a need really to promote indigenous food systems? Most definitely. The following slides, Anele. Most definitely. So in line with the first and second sustainable development goals, indigenous foods do have the potential to contribute towards hunger alleviation. Oh, Sanele, I think those were swapped. Please go back to slide number 9. Thanks. And by virtue of their organic nature, they can help to bring the much needed ecological balance through maintaining biodiversity. And innovative methods can be driven towards the realization of this. So just summing up now, there are quite a number of challenges that are associated with indigenous food systems. If you look at the diagram in the last slide, second last slide, Sanele, that one, yes. If you look at the, thank you. So there's a number of challenges that are associated with indigenous food systems. First of which, could you please zoom Sanele a bit because I can't see properly? Just zoom it if it's possible. Thanks. I want to read on the sides. I want to see the sides. Okay. Let me do this. I'm sorry, I'm failing to see this, Sanele. So I will just look at it from my side if that's okay. Okay. So some of the challenges. How do I zoom? Okay. In terms of market analysis, analyzing the market, it's not very easy to identify the most profitable produce if you are dealing with indigenous food systems. And part of the reasons for this is because people are constantly stigmatizing our indigenous foods. They do not form part of the food discourse, which puts them at a disadvantage. There are no scientific methods of improving crop yields because they are not tested. They are not taken to the labs for testing, as you would see with most of the genetically modified seeds that you find in the market. So there are also unknown methods of uniformity. Part of the reasons for this is because once you get the seed for indigenous crops, you just put them on the ground and then that's it. You just wait for harvesting. You don't apply any pesticides, no herbicides, no spraying whatsoever. So it becomes very difficult to maintain uniformity. It's also difficult to predict any risk management. I'm sorry, it's not easy to minimize risk because of the mentioned challenges, that being not being easy for us to maintain uniformity, no scientific methods that are associated with the production of these foods. And also, there's a lot of money that goes into indigenous food production because everything is done manually most of the time. In fact, all of the time. Especially if you go to rural areas, you would see this. Women and a very few youngsters would be doing manual labor. There's no technologies that are associated with indigenous food production. And also, we can't speak efficiency when there is no use of technology during these systems. So with that being said, I think our possible solutions would be to leverage on artificial intelligence technology to improve productivity and to cut losses. Basic things such as the investment of drones for crop monitoring, for example, genetic engineering to improve crop yields. Those are the things that would assist us to get somewhere, at least for a start. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kwabe. And we just the key takeaways from the presentation is that you did mention that there's a lot of money being spent in indigenous food production, or rather in the traditional methods of farming, and also the benefits of AI and fourth industrial revolution taking place, or in the agricultural sphere or in the cultural discipline. It brings a lot of benefit in terms of efficiency and also maximizing productivity. So we have food security specifically remains a concern in our community, and even in our society, South Africa, and even the community in the world, in the international community as well. So now, since there are many people who go out of bed without food, we seek solutions to agriculture, because agriculture always remains the source of life. We need to take advantage of the AI for efficiency and for productivity. Okay, right now I'll just give it to the floor to take some questions. If you have any question, can you please write it on the chat box, or you can just raise your hand so that I can take it. I can see one. Karabo, yes, you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but a little bit. Can you raise your voice a bit? Yes, you can go ahead. I think I can. Okay, we just lost you, Karabo. I can take Pumla. Pumla, you can go ahead. Pumla, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much for the presentation. And I'm someone who's also like in the Internet of Things, farming and stuff like that. My main concern, or rather maybe a question that I'm hoping that Prof. Morongo is still around. What are we doing as an institution to implement like this information in undergrad courses? Because there are people who are doing agriculture, there are people in computer science, but is there like maybe information provided to the computer science students or people in like who deal with the IT to know that, okay, you can actually not just focus on learning and grabbing the content, but think of where it could be applied. And for those that are in the agriculture or already dealing with farming and stuff like that, giving them this information to know that the way of doing things is really changing so that we don't end up playing catch up.
Thank you so much. And Kabelo, can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just want to check as to how effective is 4IR when we are linking it to emerging or smallholder farmers.
Thank you so much for the question. Let me take the last one so that I can give it to the speakers and also the Prof. Azwindini. There is Prof. He's still around. He can answer. Let me take Sinokolo. You can go ahead.
Oh, thank you. That's enough. I'm using the information that is given, like using the artificial.
Sorry, I cannot hear you very well. I cannot hear you very well.
How can we apply? Oh.
Okay, yes, you can go ahead.
All right. I am asking how can we use the artificial intelligence to improve us as agriculture students, as we can see that there is high unemployment rate and we as youth are struggling and we have the information and the technology that is needed to apply this information. So how about we use the information that we have, create maybe a co-op where we will join maybe capital to start maybe these businesses that they are talking about in this intelligence application, artificial intelligence. Yes.
Thank you so much for the question. I believe the question is more similar to Pumla, asking about the application of it and the role of institution in assisting students. Prof, I think I can start with you.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for the very interesting question. So I'm going to throw it back to agricultural students. Sometimes it's not what the faculty and the institution can do for you. It is what we can do together, and therefore I'm inviting agricultural students to as a take-home message to go and start questioning in their classrooms. That isn't what we're being taught probably way back in the 70s. Is this curriculum going to assist me in the 21st century? That's where you start. The battle will be won and lost in the classroom, in the curriculum. However, the institution, and in particular our faculty, If you look at our strategy, I do hope students do participate and look at our discussions on the strategy. So if you look at our mission and vision, is we want to be a transdisciplinary and engaged faculty of science situated in Africa in the 21st century. If you put all those things together as a student, you have to say, faculty, you've got this beautiful vision. Can you break it down for me? What does it mean for me as an agricultural student? I went to George campus and I met with the students, and I challenge them. And I say, what about we change the curriculum in such a way that you will only graduate after you have implemented things like IT out there in agriculture, and then we give you a degree. Will you be comfortable with that, or you just want to memorize and go home? So that's why I'm putting it back there, so that it is a two-way stream where we have to discuss. Should we change the curriculum in such a way that before you graduate, you go out there and assist rural farmers with the technology that you will have learned, the apps that you will have been designed here in the institution. So yes, it's possible, but we need to make sure that students are asking these questions right in the classroom.
Thank you so much, Prof. Kunisani. I think you can follow now. I think the other questions, I can read it to you so that you can just answer them all. The other one is the role of academia in some of the challenges that you have mentioned, and also the effectiveness of the 4IR.
Okay, Sanele. Well, I think the lady that asked was asking about the effectiveness of 4IR when linked to small-scale agriculture. I'm not sure if I captured that correctly. So my response to that is that when correctly implemented, it can be highly effective for you as a producer. She mentions that she's a small-scale farmer herself. So I'm talking about the improvement of yield. I made an example a number of times about the using of drones, for example, using of digital media, and well, there's other ways. So it's efficient because in some instances, what can be achieved by 10 people over a 7-day period could also be completed in a single day. Now, this is when we use automation. So that saves you both time and money. So it's all about the proper implementation of these technologies and using them to the benefit of you as a producer. But then it also, the lady, sorry, I didn't get her name. You being a small-scale farmer could be a disadvantage because, as I mentioned during my presentation, this involves a lot of costs. But it is not to say that you cannot use AI. You very much can, and it's highly advisable also.
Thank you so much. I think due to time, we will keep it there. For those of you who still have questions, they can forward it to science.marketing@mandela.ac.za. I just posted the email on the chat box. You can just go and look there. And if you request a presentation, we can send it. You send it via that email. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Kwabe, for the insightful presentation. I can see the comments. I can read one from Dombentle. Very informative presentation, Kwabe. In South Africa in general, there are a lot of challenges that may make this a challenge, especially for emerging farmers. Unfortunately, they could benefit greatly from such technology advances, but problem may be accessibility. Thank you so much for the comment, Dombentle, and thank you so much for the presentation, Mr. Kwabe.
Thank you.
I will. You know, these are the indeed kind of talk that you should normalize. Just referring back to Prof. Moronga's input, he said, you take it back to the classroom. That is where change can be made. I think this will go a long way, even in educating minds. And indeed, agriculture is all about getting in touch with the world around us. I will close off by the words of Jericho Sanchez, where he says, it feels good at the end of the day to know you made a product that other people are going to enjoy. I really highly appreciate your time, and the session is officially adjourned. You can leave the meeting. Thank you so much.